Well, on January 20th, 2009, the next President of the United States will be sworn in on the steps of the Capitol. I, as a Democrat, fervently hope you are looking at that next president. Either Barack or I will raise our hand and swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States. And then when the celebrations are over, the next president will walk into the Oval Office, and waiting there will be a stack of problems. Problems inherited from a failed administration. A war to end in Iraq and a war to resolve in Afghanistan. An economy that is not working for the vast majority of Americans, but well for the wealthy and the well-connected. Tens of millions of people either without health insurance at all or with insurance that doesn't amount to much because it won't pay what your doctor or your hospital need. An energy crisis that we fail to act on at our peril. Global warming, which the United States must lead in trying to contend with and reverse. And then all of the problems that we know about and the ones we can't yet predict. It is imperative that we have a president, starting on day one, who can begin to solve our problems, tackle these challenges, and seize the opportunities that I think await. I'm very grateful for the extraordinary service of John and Elizabeth Edwards, and among the many contributions that they have made, both by their personal example of courage and leadership, is their reminder that in this land of such plenty and blessings, there are still 37 million Americans who are living below the poverty line and many others barely hanging on above. So what we have to do tonight is to have a discussion about what each of us believe are the priorities and the goals for America. I think it's imperative we have a problem solver, that we roll up our sleeves. I'm offering that kind of approach because I think that Americans are ready, once again, to know that there isn't anything we can't do if we put our minds to it. So let's have that conversation.
Thank you, Senator. First of all, I want to acknowledge a candidate who left the race this week, John Edwards, who did such an outstanding job. Elevating the issues of poverty and the plight of working families all across the country, and we wish him and Elizabeth well. He's going to be a voice for this party and for this country for many years to come. I also want to note something that you noted at the beginning, which is that when we started off, we had 8 candidates on this stage. We now are down to 2 after 17 debates. And it is a testimony to the Democratic Party, and it is a testimony to this country that we have the opportunity to make history, because I think one of us too will end up being the next president of the United States of America. And I also want to note that I was friends with Hillary Clinton before we started this campaign. I will be friends with Hillary Clinton after this campaign is over. She has done, we're running a competitive race, but it's because we both love this country and we believe deeply in the issues that are at stake. I believe we're at a defining moment in our history. Our nation is at war. Our planet is in peril. Families all across the country are struggling with everything from back-breaking health care costs to trying to stay in their homes. And at this moment, the question is, how do we take the country in a new direction? How do we get past the divisions that have prevented us from solving these problems year after year after year? I don't think the choice is between black and white, or it's about gender or religion. I don't think it's about young or old. I think what is at stake right now is whether we are looking backwards or we were looking forwards. I think it is the past versus the future.
Thank you, Senator.
And just to finish up, Wolf, and I think that as we move forward in this debate, understand we are both Democrats and we understand the issues at stake. We want change from George Bush, but we also have to have change that brings the country together, pushes back against the special interests in Washington, and levels with the American people about the difficult changes that we make. If we do that, I am confident that we can solve any problem and we can fulfill the destiny that America wants to see, not just next year, but in the many years to come.